All right, Christiana, let's take a look at your paper. MLA format first. Number one, only your last name and page number. You don't need your full name. All of this is correct. We technically handed it in on the 3rd of March, but not a big deal. Got a space here and a space here that doesn't need to be there. This is a weak thesis statement, not creative at all. All right, so having the right amount of human ambition can work wonders, yet too much is poisonous, so no comma there. You don't have a complete sentence. Really on the other side there. Many humans strive to be great. Agreeing to only settle for the absolute best has downfalls. So, I mean, I see where you're going with this. It's not exactly the most creative thing in the world for an attention getter, so I definitely think you could work on that a little bit. You don't need to prop up Shakespeare. We know he's a great guy. Macbeth, in Shakespeare's play Macbeth, the main character yearns for authority that often leads to a tragic effect. I don't know, something. Rearrange that sentence a little bit. If someone stands anxiously for power, how about if someone strives anxiously for power? The result is collapse, something like that. I know I told you I like this, by pursuing power over succession. I like that idea. He's showing that Macbeth's audacity allows him to be provoked by antagonistic characters, leading to murder and seeking incitement in future prophecies. Again, I'm not sure how much I worked on you with this rewrite of it. I think it maybe is getting a little too wordy here at the end, as far as like this, allowing him to be provoked by antagonistic characters. I feel like that should be up here. Like, that's just kind of saying what happens to Macbeth, that he's provoked by these other characters. Because I'm assuming you're going to talk about Duncan and Lady Macbeth and Macduff and all that kind of stuff. Which means that you really need to dive more into this idea that by pursuing this, it does something to him, something like that. So just be careful of that. All right, here we go. Christiana, first body paragraph. Don't have a really strong topic sentence in here. A lot of this is just plot after plot after plot. Yeah, just a lot of plot here at the beginning. He's not The Thane is not primitively confident in his murderous. Primitively confident. I'm not exactly sure if that's the word you want. In his murderous thoughts. Unmanlike is not, notice the red line. Not necessarily a word there. He doesn't want his light to see his black deep desires. It sparks Macbeth's actions to murder Duncan and confront his burning desire to become king. So he portrays a brave and courageous leader in the beginning of Act 1, but his reflections show that he is thirsting for power. So I guess his reflections on his life, maybe, or soliloquies, I'm not exactly sure, for power in a way that causes him being controlled by violence. Killing the king enables the reader to understand the lengths Macbeth is willing to go to spontaneously succeed. Now, when you use the word spontaneously, it should be two things. To both spontaneously succeed and something else. So, clean that up. Here's my problem. There's very little analysis at all in this paragraph. And this is sometimes the problem with the thesis statement. If your thesis statement doesn't lead to analysis, because I'm not exactly sure what you're trying to prove in here, just that Lady Macbeth tries to provoke him to kill him, and he wants to be king, and because he's thirsting for power, he's controlled by violence, and Macbeth's willing to do whatever it takes to succeed. So where's the analysis in that? Where do we see this really strong connection to the text and strong connection to the greater theme of the work? I don't see it yet. You don't have it there. You have a transition here, though, that leads us to the next paragraph, so there's a good thing. All right, so again with this paragraph, I don't see a strong topic sentence. I see a lot of plot here at the beginning. I'm not sure. This is actually an interesting thing that you said here. Warns him, not tells him, warns him, I'll request your presence and to fail not our feast. I'm not sure if that's really the tone that he's taking with him. But interesting that you say that. It's interesting that you said he warns him, almost like a kingly. I think you could actually dive into this a little bit more at this point. But interesting choice of words there, designating his authority there. All right. So his murderous actions are not finished. Leaves things unsettled. Macbeth, knowing that it will not continue to have generation succession, asks quickly to destroy the interference. So I like that word choice. Ensuring the superintendence is imperative as well. Interesting word choice. Again, Christiana. It's not bad. It's a little bit out of tone with the rest of the piece, but it's all right. So his greedy mind embraces murder as a way to maintain power. So here's the start of some analysis. It shows how vulnerable he is, no comma, and that his mental health is not flourishing. Now, how do we get onto mental health not flourishing? Because I don't know if you've really backed this up yet with anything you've said so far. Poor health, mental health, which again you haven't mentioned so far this paper, and it's not in your thesis statement. So I'm not sure where you're going to go with that. Contributes to the nonchalant attitude towards murdering two close companions. Now, nonchalant is not how I would have him described killing Duncan. He was very much distraught, leading up to his death, after his death. I would not call that nonchalant. Banquo's a little bit more nonchalant as far as he's okay with him killing. But again, he's not the one doing it either. So does that make a difference? I don't know where you could look at that. So through the murders of the king and Banquo until he decides to pay another visit to the witches. So now we get into mental health and how he has mental health, but I'm not exactly sure you've properly set up that idea yet. All right, so the idea of returning to the witches to seek further prophecies. Point marker, I'm not sure is the best word choice. He becomes unsystematic. I'm not exactly sure what that means. But none of this actually talks about him going to the witches, just the fact that he wants to go to the witches. Because all of this information is from Act 3, Scene 4, that he's blood-stepped so far. He admits that, now this is embedded, so this should turn into he. And he, for his own good, it admits that he is in blood-stepped so far, that should he return no more, returning where his tedious is go over. So this should be a period. You already got a long enough sentence here. And then make this its own separate period. Sentence, though. So he must keep striving for power. It's part of the play is different entirely from the beginning in the sense of Macbeth's struggle to maintain power over others. In Act 1, he's hesitant, unsure. Although the greed is already present in his mind, at the end, he's confident, willing to take any route just to secure his position. You're starting to kind of get into analysis, but I'm not exactly sure you're quite there yet. This is a great quote to analyze because that tells you a lot about his character at this particular point. So you could dive into this a little bit more, but you didn't. So there's another place that you could add some more thought in there. All right, so when you get to the end, your thesis statement has to be underlined as well in your conclusion. So with your thesis, though, the downfall one can have if too confident in seeking power over others. So I don't even know if you've really touched on this enough in there, that concept enough. I like that restatement of it. That narrows it down a little bit more, but I still don't know if that's really where you were going in your body paragraphs. So you do go through and go over your main points again. Be careful with comma conjunctions. Remember the only comma conjunction when you have a sentence on each side. So just be careful of those couple in here. Really weak last sentence. It's almost a restatement of things that you've said about 3 or 4 times already. Something a little bit more intriguing to get you out of here. Your works cited page is fine. Your in-text citation is fine as well. Just for that one embedded quote there we didn't use. Okay, we got to have a lot more focus at the beginning, Christiana. And we also got to make sure that we are staying on track with that analysis, with that stronger thesis statement. So good luck in the future. Hopefully see a rewrite out of you.